We're going to scratch an O2 crown from one end to the other. Then we'll back up, and as long as that looks good, we won't tack again, and we'll back up and we're going to put a 2-inch, 9.5 millimeter overlay from 73 to the previous year's project, and then from the other side a little down to Southford Station. Okay. Okay. And then what efforts are being made to accommodate the residents of Turkey Crossing? Again, we're maintaining traffic. First of all, it's in there in bold letters. They need to maintain access at all times for emergency purposes. Okay. And yes, we're talking fire company. That's the obvious one. But the other one is someone has some type of medical incident. You need to get an ambulance in there. You know, there will be times when they'll be trenching across the road, and the way that'll be done is one lane at a time. And at that point, we probably will have to stop traffic. But I think, I'm going by memory, I think we only have 2 pipe crossings from 73 Southford Station. I think one is actually in front of your place, Bill, and then the other one is, I'm going to say, right, I think it's around Station 14 on the big road side. And that's a crossing. We're actually digging one pipe up that has failed and putting in a new one. So that's all I have from questions. If anything else is flushed out, you guys have any questions, curiosity, you can ask them now, or you can catch me after the meeting and I'll talk until you fall asleep. This is what I love doing. It's not the meetings, it's the field work. I love the field work, so. Yes, sir.
I just have one quick question.
Sure.
Regarding underneath the surface of Faust Road, are there any utilities?
Yep.
And also any kind of piping for various types of pipes that might be under the surface of the road? The reason why I'm asking that is, isn't this a good time to relocate utilities, say for instance, to the shoulder of the road? Or if you need to do down the road maintenance, you're not tearing up the surface of a perfectly good road, you're tearing up a shoulder that can be repaired and it doesn't have to be perfect.
Well, there's a couple of answers to that. First is, before we do any project, we do something called a PA1 call. Okay, we do it now. We did it initially when design started. We did it before we finalized it and went out to bid, and the contractor is required by contract to do it before he digs. Anytime, call before you dig. If you ever heard that phrase, that's what they mean. Okay, so that would handle the dangerous part of it. The other part that you're kind of inferring is often when it comes to any type of a road maintenance program, you have 3 steps. You fix your utilities. If you've got anything underground that might deal with stormwater, you've got a cross pipe that you've got CMP and the bottom's rotted out, you don't go and spend the money to pave your road. You fix your cross pipe first.
Right.
You backfill it, you do it, get that solid, your underground stuff, get that done, taken care of first, and then you go take care of your road surface. And then the 3rd step is always maintenance. Because if you do steps 1 and 2 right, you're going to be able to do step 3 for a really long time. And you know, every road should be touched in some way, some shape, every 8 to 10 years.
Right. So you answered my question regarding the pipes, it sounds like.
Right.
But
as far as the relocating, I didn't get there.
yeah, relocating utilities. Say, for instance, if you had electric or cable or whatever may be running along the road, but under the surface of the road. In my mind, the time to move that to the shoulder,
Right.
where any further work would be little or no consequence to the township, I think that's the time to move it. In other words, get everything you can out from underneath the surface of the road. Because I see so many road projects, just not in Upper Frederick, but just in townships in general. You take a ride around and you say, wow, this road was done a year ago. Then you ride down there and there's a big 4-foot patch down the road a year and a half after they resurfaced the road.
Usually what happens there, first of all, the electric lines are almost always parallel and outside of the cartway unless it's a crossing. And if it's a crossing, it's not usually electric driven. If there is anything that you want to relocate, it would typically be public water, public sewer.
Right.
We don't have to worry about that, which is a good thing. Okay, but that is absolutely the first thing we would always tell our municipalities, which is different because usually you've got an authority that's running a water authority or an authority that's running a sewer authority. They don't always see eye to eye, and they are not the township often. Okay, so there's a difference, and we don't have the budget to replace that main that's 80-year-old terracotta pipe. So you're absolutely right, but often if you see that cutting, what it is a utility company will come in and they will apply for a road occupancy permit. We have no way of knowing what their plans are, nor would they really even respond. We had one on Becker Road, okay?
Right.
And we did Becker Road, at this point I'd say that's probably 6-8 years ago, something like that. And we had to relocate a utility pole. That held the project up for about a year. And ultimately what was happening, and it may still be out there, I don't know, there was a chunk of telephone pole hanging from a wire because they never actually took it off. You know, so my response was I tell Steve to go take his plow and bump it in the wintertime. That's the only time you're going to get it done. Because they will hold, I've got another project in Berks County that has been held up now for 18 months to try and get lines moved from an old pole to a new pole. And we can't do the project until they do it. And they, again, they don't really have, Township can really put pressure on them and hound them, but ultimately it's when they get to it.
Okay.
So, okay, some stuff we can control and some stuff we can't, but we have done the PA1 call, and really I only know of one hotline that's a crossing below the road. That's up just uphill from the perp crossing closest to Southbridge Station. So, and we are going to deal with that, but there's ways of getting around that. You can do hydro excavation and stuff like that, where you blast it with water, and a bunch of different stuff. Okay? Any questions, folks? You know where to find me. Will be available.
Thank you, Norm.
Yep, absolutely.
Norm, just one thing, you were talking about the seamless paving there.
Yep.
Are you, especially in front of the crossing, is where I think you're going to want to absolutely try to make sure that happens, right?
Well,
Either entrance.
the seamless paving really deals with the center line of Faust Road.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
when-
going to open up both sides of it.
Yeah, when we tie into an apron, whether it's a driveway or the entrance is a perp crossing, there's going to be a seam. Okay, but what I would do, knowing that it's probably not too much farther down the road before we get to Buck Road,
Right.
we'll go into that entrance a little bit farther. So we've got some good asphalt, we've got some good stuff underneath, there's more base repair to do there. That was not done really as a Faust Road component of the project. It was really done knowing what's happening in the future.
Okay.
So we kind of did that for that reason. And then when we go to do Buck Road, we'll come back 2 or 3 feet past where we just did, put a mill joint, so that when you go and you tie into a road, you're tying in a driveway like this, you want to come back with the other one and tie in back here. Otherwise, you tie in here, and that's when you get your...
Get your little gully there and tear it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Everybody good? Perfect. No public comments, so upcoming meetings, we got Board of Supervisor regular monthly meeting, August 14th.
I missed that one.
Yeah, that's okay. So let's do Parks and Rec is meetings on August 7th, 27th at 7 p.m. Zoning Hearing Board is going to meet August 27th at 7 p.m. The Planning Commission is going to meet August 29th at 7 p.m. We're going to figure out what we're going to do with the Open Space Committee. So I know Mrs. Bauer's here, Bill's here. I don't know if Mr. Myers is here, but I'm going to get in touch with everybody. I'll send out an email to figure out what we're going to do as far as the meeting. There's a couple targeted places that I wanted to discuss with everybody. We may be able to do our work via the email and go from there. Once we have something together, then we'll get a meeting date and we'll move forward that way. Okay? Announcements, movie night. Movie night at the Mountain is September 7th. Movie's going to be Rain.
No.
It's going to be Wish. And the rain date's going to be September 14th. Community Day is September 28th from 10 to 3 p.m. And with that, I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor? Aye.